The Linux free command displays memory usage for the system. It also shows you swap space usage, and it shows you what's free and used. So let's start fresh here. Free, most basic usage of the command. You can just type free right here. Gives it to you in bytes. It's a little harder to read, so almost all the time you're just going to say free-h, and you can also do like free-k, m, g for gigs, and so on. You usually just use h, and it'll give you the appropriate values depending on how much you have. Now, there's a few other options that might be useful, but almost all the time you're just going to use this variation with a -h. So first I'm going to tell you what these fields actually mean, right? So first you have your total memory on the system. You have how much is being used, and then you have how much is free. You have shared, and then free is actually completely free, and this should actually be relatively low because any available RAM should be used for buffering and caching to speed things up, to speed up disk access and stuff like that when needed. So it's going to tend to use a lot here, but a lot of this can be reclaimed, but not all of it. So if you take free memory and take available memory, or rather, free memory plus whatever buffers and caches can be freed, that will equal available memory. Now, available memory is the best estimate, the system's best estimate of how much memory it can be given to you without having to use swap space. So it's not simply free plus buffers and cache. Even though you can reclaim most of these, you can't reclaim all of them. So you can't just add these two numbers together to get available. Anyway, so they won't match up perfectly, but this is the best estimate of, reclaimable buffers and caches plus free memory, right? So swap space, you got total, and I have 0 being used. If you see some being used, that's an indicator probably things have to be swapped out and your system might be low on RAM. You might need to increase the RAM on your system or see what's hogging RAM, but you shouldn't be swapping out. So yeah, the full 19 gigs is free here. Now, let's look at some of the other options that we have here. So you could do W for wide. So just add a W here, and you have wide. So that just splits out buffers and cache rather than having them combined, right? So kind of useful, but only so much. You can do a -L to show low and high. So you're going to show some low and high values here. You can also have T for total, and I guess you can use that together with low and high, or you could remove the L and just show some totals there, right? So you're totaling up your swap and your RAM. Not super useful, right? Because that's kind of obvious. You don't really need that. Anyways, what else? You can do V. You can use a V to show. It'll add a line here for committed. So committed and uncommitted commit limit. So another thing you can do is C, so you can display, well, before that, I should show you S. So S to continuously display however many seconds. So you do S and then specify the seconds. You do every 1 second. You do every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds. So the S will continuously just keep displaying it just refreshes that many seconds, right? So every 1 second, it's going to refresh. You could set this to 5, and it's just going to sit there and wait until 5 seconds passes and display another line. And yeah, there you go. It took a little bit longer, right? So the other thing you can do is C. Now this will run for count times. So C, let's say you want it to run 3 times. You can run that and it just runs this. And it seems like that's every second or so by default. If you want to change that, you can combine S with C. So you could run it, every 5 seconds for 3. And so you have some control over the interval, and you can only run it that many times. So that's nice, and I could see that if you're trying to monitor the situation and see how much memory is being used. But, it's only so useful. Almost all of the time, you're just saying free-h to check the memory usage on the system. So that's the free command. If you found this video useful or interesting, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and you definitely want to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on our other great tech content. We do hardware, software, servers, coding, electronics, robots, and a whole lot more. But that's about it for today, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.